Hello, my beautiful friends. Thank you for coming here and listening to another episode of the Free, Happy, and Thriving podcast. If you're watching us or if you're listening to us, I'm so excited about our guest today. I've got Petra von der Waal with us today, and she has a topic that I wish I heard more about when I started my business back in 2012. And I know for each and one of us, we will gain so much confidence from listening to her and her expertise on this topic. Now, before I even say what it is, just let me ask you this. How many times have you felt held back, or maybe you've overthought your photos that you put out there, maybe whether or not you can pay for a photo shoot, or whether or not you feel you have the right photos or the right setup or the right background so that you can professionally present yourself in your business, right? So that's why I'm so excited to have Petra with us today. And I'm just going to pull up her beautiful intro so that I can tell you a little bit more about Petra, and then we'll hear from her. Exactly. So first of all, Petra is a brand photography teacher and confidence coach. She helps shy business owners elevate their business and make more sales by empowering them to shine as the face of their business and teaching them how to stand out and truly connect with their dream clients with amazing photos that they take with nothing but sorry guys, I've got to do this phone. Literally, if you're watching this phone, just phone, right, Petra? Petra showing us if you're listening in. With 14 years experience as a wedding product and brand photographer, plus 12 years experience as a marketing expert, she instantly knows what kind of business photos her clients need to connect with their dream clients and grow their income quickly. Her experience with mindset work allows her to help them build their confidence to proudly be the face of their business with photos that make them look professional and trustworthy. Teaching and coaching is one of the things that truly makes her happy. And she loves for her clients to feel all excited too when they see those amazing and authentic pictures they manage to take themselves with nothing but their phone, knowing that they will feel free to shine and stand out and elevate their business. Petra sees wonder in everyday world, and she inspires her clients to be mindful photographers. And we have Petra here with us to talk to us about. Hi, Petra. Welcome. How are
Hi, thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And I must say, it feels amazing to hear that when someone else says it, because normally I introduce myself with those words. But hearing someone else saying that it really touched me. It's funny. But yeah, it really did something.
it just goes to show, right, how much you've achieved, how much you've done, the impact you really make. Petra, I'm really excited for you to be here because the truth is a lot of us, and a lot of us moms, women, we can really overthink things in our business that we can really go in with it. So our image, it is important. Just you said, trustworthy, brand that represents us. It's important. It's not like it doesn't matter what we put out there. It's just that we really have more resources to start right now as we are. And
Exactly.
before we even dive into the topic, I would love to know, Petra, your story. We love to know you. How did you come to teach this? Of course, we heard your beautiful introduction. Tell us a bit more why you started your business, why you're doing this.
Yeah, so I'm from Holland, and I've lived there up until 32 years, and then I moved to the south of France. And that's where I started my photography career. So before in Holland, I was working as a marketing manager, but photography has always been like a big passion of mine. I always had my camera with me, and I photographed a lot. And when we arrived in France, at one point I decided I wanted to become a professional photographer, and so I've been doing that for many years, doing weddings, working a lot with nervous brides. So that already was something that I really love doing, and did a lot of mindset work with them already. And then I started working with small business owners who hired me for their websites, for their business shoots. And I realized that very often they came to me but didn't have the budget, or told me, ah, yes, but it must wait because I can't pay you now, but I can't pay you in a few months. And the overgiver that I am, I often gave them more than what they actually paid for. And at one point, when one of my biggest clients was the tourist offices of the region, and when I was photographing for them, I noticed that more and more I started using my phone, because my photos needed to go on their social media immediately. And it was much easier to shoot with my phone. So at one point, instead of bringing my heavy camera, I just took my phone with me. And all of a sudden, I had this click inside my head thinking, but wait, they have phones as well. So I can teach them how to take beautiful photos with their phones themselves. And that way they don't have to hire expensive photographers anymore. So that's how the idea came in my head. And that's why I started Instance Academy. Yeah.
Love that so much. So you are taking photos with your phone, professional
Yeah.
photos that the tourist office in France was paying you for.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
need to hear that twice, because it's so easy to think, oh, but you won't look as good. But my favorite coach or my favorite person in my industry has like this that look like that. It was like, so we need, like, literally, we need to really take that in. The tourist office was paying for professional photos that look the part, need everything with the phone. So we
Yeah.
can see it. I love that. And that's how you came up with Instance Academy, which is your signature program,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Instance Academy is my business, and my signature program is From Shy to Shining. So because I'm not only teaching them how to make beautiful photos with their phone, but also I work a lot on mindset, because for a lot of business owners, that actually is the problem. It's not so much being able to take good pictures, that helps, but having a technically perfect photo is great. But as you said in the introduction, it's much more important to be able to show up even if it's not perfect. And that's something that I work on with my clients, because often they feel awful. They take like 100 selfies and throw them all away, and still end up with photos that they're not entirely happy with. So the mindset is a really important. We work a lot on that. And yeah, I had if you want to have a look on my Facebook, there are example photos from my clients there that you would think were taken by a professional photographer, and they just did it themselves with just their phones. A tripod, your phone, you need a what's the word, a remote control. So those are the things that you definitely need, and you need good light. So you need to be near a beautiful window where you have the natural light falling in, or a ring light or studio lights. But yeah, it's with natural light you can do a whole lot. You don't need to invest a lot in equipment.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, you know what? I want to demonstrate. I hope I can turn it back on. So I'm actually have a beautiful window in front of me, but my office is in my children's homeschool. And right now it's tipped over with toys. So I turn back against the wall, and I've got very affordable Amazon ring light. It's not huge, but look,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just goes to show. And those clickers, you can literally get them like for, I think, $10 or something on Amazon. So it's not like those
And
beautiful ones.
even a tip that a lot of people don't know, but you can even use your headphones. Pushing the volume button up or down will take the photo as well. So
Wow.
you can use your headphones, or you can use a voice control, which is super helpful as well. I always use a voice control myself. So I just say a smile and my camera takes the photo. So
Wow, that's so cool.
yeah.
With your phone. How do you do that?
Well, it's a setting that you can put up in your phone. And what I will do, I'm offering a free 8 settings guide to all your listeners, and I will, it's in there. It will explain exactly how you need to put, how you can put the different ways that you can release the shutter button. So either with your headphones, with your voice control. There are several ways, and not all of them are working the same on iPhone and Samsung, or iPhone and Android. So each phone has their own particular ways. But yeah, in that guide, they will see how they can do that, how they can put that on.
I love that. I'm downloading that guide. I love that because I had the shutter. I'm always losing it, but I had the shutter, and I do it with my Apple Watch. So I'm
Yeah.
normally trying to do that with my children and my husband. And my children are 4 and 2, and they're always running in pictures. So I'm normally trying to take the picture, but because I'm trying to do it with my Apple Watch, I'm always in the picture like this.
But you can put a timer on that. So you can say when you do that with your Apple Watch, put a 3 seconds timer on that, and that way you have time to drop your arm and be okay in the picture. Because actually, a lot of my clients use the Apple Watch as well during their photo shoots, because that way. When a lot of the times when you don't have an Apple Watch or you use your phone with the front camera. So you have your back camera. The
Yeah.
back camera has the best resolution. So if you can use your rear camera, that's best. But the problem is you cannot tap on your eyes or you cannot see the image. So then you have constantly run to your camera, take the photo, see if you are okay in it, and then run back. And so
Yeah.
it's complicated. So a lot of the times you use your front camera, which basically is okay for social media or your website. For internet photos, it's absolutely fine to use your front camera. However, if you want to use your photos for print work, in that case, you better use your rear camera. Otherwise, the quality is not high enough. But if you have your Apple Watch, you can see yourself in the image. You can see how if you are posed well. You can touch and then wait for the 3 seconds. So you drop your arm and then you're okay in your photo. So if you have a watch for your own photo shoots, that is really, really helpful.
Yeah, that's true because you see it on the screen. Wow, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. We're gonna link the guide. I'm downloading that guide because it's so important. Let's touch a bit on mindset, and I want you to share this and to hear your thoughts on it. So when I started my business in 2012, I can't tell you, sadly, how many hours I spent overthinking my
Yeah.
pictures. And then I had a couple of like photo shoot pictures that my boyfriend at the time was my husband now. We've taken for ourselves, but they weren't like business. This was before we had our business. So they were like more like, oh, together like this. So I would crop just this section and try make it look professional. And I just overthought it so much. And I felt then I told myself this story, right? That is not good enough. And I'm gonna add this in with this. Then I overthought my weight. Then I overthought my backdrops. Let's just put it out there because I'm gonna put it out there in case anybody thinks. Sometimes I use my front camera because I feel it makes me look slimmer. Why would that be the reason why somebody buys a product from me that has nothing to do with slimmer? Because my value has nothing to do with my look, but and I've worked on this a lot, and I just can't wait for it. Let's be raw and talk about this. So I'm putting it out there just in case any listeners think like it's not vanilla. I'm just gonna say it. I've overthought this a lot. I've overthought a lot that because I don't think I'm wearing clothes or that. For me, it's been a lot over time. At the beginning, it used to be all about the quality of the pictures because I never had money at the beginning for a photo shoot. Later on, it's all about my weight and how I look. And it was a lot to work through that and just say, first of all, I had to work through the concept of it's like I'm not here to show off my weight. It's nowhere near my industry. What I teach is business and ads and strategy and marketing. But even if I was, there's plenty of people being just my weight or more that confidently teach and show. So tell me about this. Let's talk about this. What do you think? What's your
Yeah, no, this is a great point, and I see this all the time with my clients. There's one reason, and then when they got that out of the way, there's the next, and they get that out of the way, and there's the next. For my last photo shoot, I had a client who kept telling me every time again, no, but my house is just such a big mess. It's completely cluttered everywhere, and I don't have any place where I can take the photo. So we need to wait until spring so we can go outside and take photos there. And I was like, no, there's more to this. It's just not possible that in your entire house you cannot find one good spot for your photos. And I think this was in January, somewhere like that, January, February. And I thought we're not going to wait till spring. I mean, she's holding herself back until spring just no. So she sent me a video of her house. That's when we do the done with you photo shoots, they always send me a video up front so I can see what the situation at their place is, where the light is coming from, what the background is, etc. So she sent me that, and I could immediately tell her, well, that's a good spot and that's a good spot. And if you change the couch a little bit like that, we can even do the couch photo that you want to take. So it was just in her mind. And she was just holding herself back, and it's a lot of the time like that, saying no, I'm well, just as you say, I'm too big at the moment. I want to lose weight, and I had that problem myself, honestly, as well. I gained a lot of weight in the last couple of years, and yeah, I find it difficult myself to show up on photos. And so I did my own mindset work that I did with my clients. I applied it to myself as well, which is a challenge. I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes as a marketing person or me, a photographer, we know very well how our clients can do it and how they should follow a certain program, or and ourselves, we kind of forget ourselves.
Yeah, yeah,
But anyhow, that's a
yeah.
side point. But yeah, it's very often the mindset problem, and you have to dive deep to find what actually is behind this. Why am I pushing this forward? Why, for instance, procrastinating? That is a really big thing as well. Why am I always finding other stuff to do just to not be visible or not put myself out there? And that's where you need to work on yourself. You have to dig a little bit deeper to find out what is actually holding you back. And a lot of the times it's imposter syndrome. So people being too, well, thinking, who am I? Why should people listen to me? And what would they think? Won't they think that, well, what is she talking about? What does she know? Or a lot of the time it's imposter syndrome that we need to work on. And yeah, I think it's really important that you have that look inside yourself to figure out what is holding me back. And then as you said, your pictures really don't need to be perfect. And it's funny that we talk about this, because just this morning I put a post on my Facebook saying the exact thing. I put a photo of myself which isn't perfect at all. For your website, yes, I think for your website, you need to have photos that really look professional, and where there are no silly things in the background. But for interviews like this, or your photos on your social media, don't overthink it. Just put yourself out there, and make sure that you show up as you, as your authentic you. And I think what makes you stand out most, and what will attract the right people in your business, because that's what's it all about. We want to attract the right clients, your dream client. You don't want everybody. You just want those people that are a right fit with you. So the only thing you need to do is to show up as your true self and show who you are, what you are about in your personal life. If you want, if you don't want that, there are a lot of things that you can show for your business. For instance, someone who's making candles can show her work, can take beautiful pictures when she's working on her candles. Someone, a health and wellness coach, can take pictures when she's walking herself, or when she's making her smoothie. Or so those are all types of photos that you can use for your business. And just don't overthink it. You need to just get over that mindset block and get yourself out there.
Yeah, and there's like, I would say there's no secret sauce. There's just the mindset work, and
Yeah.
having a coach like yourself, like you said, with your client, with like, we're going to have the link to that as well, to the Down For You photo shoot. Because imagine how cool is that you are able to say, show me a video of your house. I will find some spots for you, which is basically you as a coach saying, it's a block. Let me
Yeah.
help you get over the block. So there's an element to which there is no secret sauce. Ultimately, you just need to do the work. But also there's so much support available with people that would know to call you out on that and help you get over the block. And I think there's also an element of just do it, right? Before we press record, I pressed pause twice. I realized I can't connect my phone to make the sound perfect because I had to update my laptop because it broke just suddenly on me. And I don't like Apple love to do this. They've changed all the ports. They don't have the keyboard. So now I have to buy. I have a lightning thing, but it's not working either. So I have to buy another one. So what am I gonna do? Cancel the podcast with Petra and now have this conversation? No, I'm going to show up because I know that done is better than perfect. And ultimately, nobody is doing this perfectly. But then I want to touch on another angle with you. At the same time, nobody's doing this perfect. Do it wrong, right? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Put the picture as it is, leave the background as it is. Love yourself as you are, which is just a word, but doing it. It took me the love myself part, which I still work on it, as in like confidently show like full body, not just angles. So many years. So it's not like I've heard it from so many amazing people. I want to say this though, but then I saw people doing it. I saw people showing their full body. I saw people showing houses that look like mine. I saw people put out pictures that were taken with their iPhone, and I felt more connected to them, and they proved to me that it's possible, whether that's feeling beautiful in your clothes, whether that's having professional brand photos. And here's what I would love to touch, because exactly what you said, you have to be visible and put yourself out there. And also, it's not like you always have to have your face, and we'll dive into that topic as well. But here's the thing, you will attract your dream clients when you put yourself out there, just by the normal natural laws of marketing. Let the world know you're there, and people that can get value from you will come to you. But what about the people that would feel connected to you as a human? Petra, do you relate to this? I buy more and more from people that I feel that I find myself in them. So therefore, I feel that what they sell will help me extra. And that includes people that are my weight, that put pictures out showing that they're my weight. People that look like busy moms like me, that'll get on a podcast, or I'll have recordings up that it's not all perfect and they've not had time to blow dry their hair or stuff like that. And by putting myself authentically there, I attract people that are like, oh, I connect with you extra because you look like me, because you talk like me, because you do. What do you think? And how does that fit into the concept of you have a camera, you can do it?
Yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, let's be honest. Coaches, there are, I don't know how many, but there are many, many, many coaches out there. And they're not all perfect. I mean, and I think that, as you say, we are not looking to work with someone who's perfect. Actually, I don't mind if someone is perfect or not. I mean, what I want is their content, is what they have to say, what they have to share, what they can teach me. And indeed, you are looking for the people that you feel a true connection with. So for you as a business owner, what you need to do is make sure that you show up as your authentic, your true self. And I think the word authentic is used a lot, so people are getting maybe a little bit tired of the word, but the thing is, it really says what this is about, because when you show up as yourself, you attract those people who like that. Personally, for instance, I'm someone, I'm not that very quick speaker, and well, you can hear it now. I have a lot of words that are not coming very fluently, but I know that I'm seen as someone who is calm, who is kind, who is caring, and I think that is really important. People who need that, they will come to me. They will see that in me and come to me. So I've been thinking about that. Shouldn't I do lessons to speak more like the American? Yeah, and here I am, but it's not me, and I don't want to attract people who are looking for that, because then when they get in my courses, they will be disappointed because I'm not that person. So I need to show who I am, and I will attract the people who are exactly looking for me, for my services, given in my way, in my specific way. There are other photographers out there. I think that there are not many out there who are doing the photo shoots like I'm doing them, but there are many brand photographers. There are many. You can look up on YouTube how to take a good selfie. There are so many people teaching that. If I want to compete with that, it's just not possible. So the only thing that I can do is make sure that I show what I am about the support that I'm giving, how I can help people with the mindset, how we can make sure together that their photos are just amazing and they will be able to repeat it after that. They can put it on rinse and repeat all the time. So those are the things that I need to show. And well, you, for instance, as you say, well, overweight, to be honest, you're not that overweight that you would think, oh, wow. But already we have to keep in mind that people are not judging us that way. It's all happening inside our heads. So when we put ourselves out there, you are like, oh God, I feel a bit, I have a double chin, or yeah, I'm just not looking good enough, or I don't know what to say. But people are not judging us. They're not there to say, oh gosh, look at how big she is. I'm not going to buy from her. I mean, that's not happening.
And if they do, it's them. Because they might.
Exactly.
And if you get a picture on your comments, somebody with like, a keyboard warrior that's saying, oh, you look too fat to be on Instagram.
Who cares? Just go away
What's the
and
problem?
yeah.
Right? Because that it's important to also know that, because we do see that a lot of people that are putting ourselves out, like are putting their authentic self forward, just like you said, and are being themselves. When they get big enough, it's normally when you get big enough.
Yeah.
It's not when you just start out that you get the hate. You will get hate, but it's not about you. And are we gonna hide and not come out we've come here to do because some random person we've never seen that may as well be 15 and do this as a prank is telling us that we don't look good enough or we're not doing right?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I mean, those are not the people that we want to attract. And if they are there, we'll just, I remember one coach saying, the day that you get your first hater, then you know that you've made it. So those people are not important. You really need to focus on the people that you want to help. So one of the things when you feel very nervous to be on photo, or like this on video, or you need to record your videos, what I always say is the first thing to do is breathe. So if you need to be on the photo and you feel anxious about it, just breathe and take a couple of deep breaths so you calm yourself down a little bit. But one of the things that I always advise is think of that friend or that client or that one person that really will be helped by that message that you want to bring across. So if you want to put up a post on Facebook, for instance, with some advice, or think of that person that is going to be so happy receiving that message from you, and that immediately will make you feel strong and will help you. Okay, I have this message that I really want to bring across. So those are things that you can keep in mind when you feel a little bit uncertain or nervous being on camera.
I love that so much. I love that so much. And think about who's watching. You know what's been helping me a lot with my image lately, and that's how I put myself up as well on Instagram, on photos, is thinking of what am I doing to stop or keep perpetuating this issue we have predominantly, I'm sure everyone, but I know us women, about our image and how we translate that into our business and our brand. Diana in my team is my cousin, but there's a significant age gap between us. and her mom, we grew up almost like sisters. I'm getting somewhere here, not just giving my story. As she grew up, she was almost like, I saw her as my niece. And as I don't have daughters now, sometimes I even see her as a daughter. We work together in the business. So she would put some of my Instagram photos up. And sometimes I feel a level of responsibility. If I'm here, no, cut that, edit that, put like a filter over that. What am I perpetuating? What am I like now almost like leaving behind? I'm not trying to get so, but you know, in sometimes I put a filter on and I ask myself, is this filter because I want good lighting? Because if that is, I'm good with that. Because I haven't done my makeup and I would like to just like, you know, it's cute. Yeah. Is this filter because I don't like the shape of my face or because I don't think I'm enough? Then take off the filter and show up. You are better off showing up for yourself. I look back there, let me see me. Like, what's the good if my Instagram pictures show a certain way and you come here on camera with me? And I completely different. I look different. You feel scammed. You know what you just said about talking as well? My biggest issues for the longest period, oh my goodness, the amount of held-back over the years I had was my accent. Because I thought, well, my accent, I have an accent. People won't take me seriously. And what was it? And how fast I speak. And the thing is, these are just as much as I try, just like you said, trying to change that in yourself, as much as I try to change that. And it's actually the opposite. You see, you're worried about speaking slower. I was worrying about speaking faster. Here's the thing. Both of us are attracting people to ourselves because we can't, like, the part that you said authentic in your pictures, in your videos, in your content. The truth is, anything else would feel like you're climbing Mount Everest. It's the hardest thing in the world to be somebody else. How do you even begin to change your face, your words, your voice, this is who you are. But the thing is, how many people are there in the world? What do you need to fill up your courses, to sell your program, to sell your things? How many people are there? Have you ever met people, right? All of us have, right? That are like, wow, we get what's the word? This is not coming to me. You know, like we just get on together. We're the same. That's kind of business, isn't it? Our clients have to feel the same through many things. Maybe you understand me, like you've just shared that you've struggled with weight in your image. Now I know that if you're to help me with your photos, with my photos as a coach, you would also understand me because you would understand what it's like, which doesn't mean that photographers and photographer coaches that have not struggled with their weight can't understand me, but you will understand me more. And because I know you struggle with it, now I'm comfortable to tell you the real struggle because you've probably felt it. So I'll be comfortable to say, yes, but Petra, how do I want to be confident, but that's what we're creating by being authentic, a safe space for ourselves and for others. I have people all the time leaving me reviews for my courses, for my trainings, and they all seem to say one thing: your energy is infectious. I love your energy. And you know what it reminds me? What they mean is the speed of my talking, which I thought was my weakness. It's translating as energy to them. And listen, I can overspeak, talk too fast and talk too long. So it's not like our weaknesses are not there. So that doesn't mean you might think, oh, but Georgiana, Petra, I talk way too slow or I talk way too fast. No, we've probably gone both at different streams. It's just that we're doing it as we are. Exactly. And then ultimately it's not about the speech. It's about the value, right? What we're giving to the content.
Yeah. It's exactly that. It's we should stop trying to fit in a certain what's the word where you are completely, you need to fit in like that. No way. And I think that's beautifully said. Our weaknesses at the same time, they actually are not weaknesses. It's ourselves who see them as weaknesses, but to other people, they don't see it that way at all. And I think it's really important that you need to realize, I do not need to work on this. I do not need to change. You can just show up as yourself, and that is perfectly fine. And you will attract the right people to you. Obviously, I think, like, for instance, as you said, with the background, leave it as it is. There are ways to make sure that, for instance, I would always say use portrait mode to make sure that it's you who stands out, and that's not that you are in the picture, but in fact they are looking to that beautiful thing in the background, thinking, what is that?
Yeah.
There's a beautiful tree in the background or whatever. So there are, for photography wise, there are some tips and tricks and rules to make sure that people see you for who you are. Because what a lot of people, for instance, do is when they take pictures, they take themselves with the eyes on the middle, so centered in the photo, but therefore you have a lot of space above your head. And also, they take photos from way too far away. So let's take that example of that candle maker again. She's taking photos of her making the candles, but she takes them from so far away that you see the entire workshop, but you can't see what she's actually doing. So I always say, when you are taking your photos, try to cut out every redundant information. So everything that is too much in the image, cut it back to make sure that all the attention goes to you or to your action or to your product. Or so that's one of the tips, because a lot of people take photos from way too far away, and your message get lost in the photo. There's one thing that I really would like to say as well. One of the most important things to capture the attention of your dream clients is to make your photos connect with them, to their emotion. And what is the idea behind that? When there are so many photos on Instagram, Facebook, people see photos all day long. So you need to make sure that your picture stands out. Now, your dream clients, they have a problem, whether they are aware of it or not, but they are looking for a solution to their problem. And with that solution, there is a feeling that will bring that solution will bring to them. So if we stick with the candle maker, it's a bit of a silly example maybe, but the candle maker is not selling candles. What they are actually selling is a warm, cozy ambience. So the nice atmosphere that people are looking for. They're not looking to buy candles. They are looking to buy that beautiful ambience for their living room or for their bedroom or whatever.
Or office.
It's
I'm big on candles in the office.
yeah. So when that candle maker is taking their pictures, they should not just take simple pictures of the candles. They should take pictures of the candles in their setting with beautiful fabrics or beautiful decoration material, but that people get that feeling of the warm ambience. And the same thing for instance, a health and wellness coach. People are looking for a healthy life and the feeling of energy and fitness that will bring them. So it's really important to show that in your images. You're not just showing a smoothie, you are just showing that in an energetic way. You are just showing all the vegetables on the table. You are really making sure that you touch up on that emotion of the people, the emotion that comes with the solution.
Yeah.
So for each business, and it may seem very difficult to find that emotion for your dream clients. You are so fixed on selling your product or your course or your coaching, that it's really hard to think about, how am I going to touch on that emotion of the dream client? But you need to know your dream client. You need to find out, make a list for yourself. What is my dream client actually buying? So, okay, they will get the product or the coaching, but what will it bring to them? And what will it make them feel? What will change in their lives? For instance, a coach is actually selling the dream life. He's not selling his coaching program. He's selling the dream life that comes with it. So how can he put that in his images? So there's a whole thinking process behind that. And you really, if you want to make sure that your pictures stand out, do your dream client work, make sure that you know what makes them tick, and then put that in your photos. So that's something I really, really, really want people to know.
I love that so much. I think that none of us have ever looked at photos for our business that way. I've literally never heard it said this way. And as you speak, as you spoke and described this, as you're describing, think about what your course really sells. And then I thought of the number of courses I have and how I reuse the same photos. Straight away, I thought, but you teach phone photography, because right now, as you just described, it's very easy for us non-photographers that don't have like a camera or that may think, oh my goodness, how much is that going to cost to get a photo shoot for every product I do? To remember that, Petra, you're teaching how to do that with our phone. That means we have a product, whether it's a physical product, like for instance, I'm going to apply this to this. I created this notebook. I've been overthinking how to share it, because I created it for me, but I've also put it on Amazon. And what you just said, and I'm downloading the guide straight away. What you just said is literally like what I've been thinking of. How do I share? Because this is not just a notebook for me, for instance. This is a notebook I created for me because it helps me with what I feel when I open a nice blank page with a nice inspirational quote and get to my work and do my things. And think about like courses or things like that, because we some of us have a lot of them, have a lot of products. So if it can feel overwhelming if you think, oh my goodness, am I gonna get a photo shoot? But no, because Petra's showing us how to do this with our iPhones, which means that if we feel the pictures we don't have are not fully touching on the emotion that you've just talked about of what we're really giving our clients, we can now take more photos. If we don't feel like we like the photos, we can now take more photos because we have our camera. And yeah, that's so powerful. I love to for you to touch a little bit, because I know your work is photography and branding mindset and marketing embedded. I love to ask you two things, which I think they fit two in one. And I have a way of mixing questions. So two things. What do you find your clients feel once they have those photos that really represent them? And how is that translating into their branding, their results, their sales, and even if it's like sales or just progress, because now they freely put themselves out there?
Yeah, well, that basically already is the main part, that they finally feel free to actually put themselves out there. So they feel confident enough. They feel that they have pictures to be proud of. One of my clients, when she first came to me, she said that she felt social media shame. And I was like, oh gosh, I never thought about using that word. But social media shame or website shame is a real thing. When someone is coming to you and asking, oh, I would love to see what you do, and you feel awkward giving your website because you think, oh gosh, they are going to look and it doesn't look professional enough. They are going to think that I'm not professional, or so that's a real problem. You need to be able to feel proud of your own work and share it passionately, because that's what you do. So you need to feel proud of it when you put yourself out there. So I think that is the main thing that people will gain, is that they finally feel proud to show their work and to share their work. And the last photo shoot that we did, one of my clients said, I never ever thought that I would be able to take pictures like this myself. And it was her very first photo shoot, because in my From Shy to Shining program, it's a 6 months program. And in that program, we do 3 done with your photo shoots. And normally the first photo shoot, people are still, they don't know what to expect, and they still feel a little bit awkward maybe. But then they see how it goes during the shoot. And then the second one, they already are so much more comfortable, and they know what the results are and can be. So yeah, they're much more loose and relaxed, and it goes so much better. And then the third one, well, they just do it as if they do it just like that. But Adele, my client, she was already in the very first photo shoot. She got photos. Even I was stunned. I was like, wow, this really looks amazing. And yeah, just the fact that she was able to do that herself, she felt so proud of herself and just couldn't wait to share those photos on her social media and putting them on her website. And I think that's the biggest gain, so you can feel proud of what you are doing and really share your product so you become finally visible as you should be, because I think we all have something to share, and we create the most beautiful, whether that's product or courses or our coaching, but we all have something to share with the world. And yeah, it's such a pity if you are holding yourself back because of that shame, or because of of your lack of confidence being on camera, or yeah, it's I think that's the biggest gain, just being
And
able to step out.
right. And as a result, literally every single time you consistently put yourself out there and show the best version of you, your product, the best version, the best authentic version, not the, like the
Perfect.
touched up, like what you're now, but you put yourself out there. Think about this. How many of us, from brands we buy just in a supermarket to people we buy from online, how many of us, once we've seen someone well enough and felt some connection, we instantly don't question anymore purchasing because we feel trust. And that's what we achieve by putting ourselves out there. Videos, photos since the beginning of time, since the beginning of photos being made, they visually can do so much to just represent things, right? To represent our brand, to represent emotion, to represent things in our business. I couldn't encourage more from anybody that listened to this episode. And my goodness, thank you so much, Petra, for so candidly just talking about everything. I feel like that was the wrong words. For so openly talking about something, talking about and giving us all the tips, because it just empowers each and one of us to know that it's possible. Just like you said, we all have something to give. It's possible to put yourself out there as you are today. And like first of all, I just want to tell you, this is the most creative business I've heard in my life. The fact that you've created the concept of a program, we done for you photo shoots, which I'm sure you have clients from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
It's happening online, where they send you videos of their environment and you empower them, still one-on-one, right? Because you empower them through that to see their environment as an opportunity, and then you give them the skills for a lifetime to keep generating content in their business. This is, I would love for our listeners to respond to this as well. Have you heard of something more creative? That is so amazing, and that is just testimony that anything is possible. And as you said, yes, put yourself out there as you are, but also there are ways. And right now in this episode, Petra showed it us so many ways that we can use our phone to just change the settings a little bit, to think like what you just said about the focus. Because if I would think about a professional photographer that comes into it, like for my marketing consultancy clients, sometimes we get videographers, professional photographers into their clinics. A lot of them are doctors and clinics to, film things, to do things. And just now I'm realizing as you speak that everything is so beautifully focused, because they probably thought that no background noise, right? No extra things. Let's focus on what we came here to photograph, to film. And that's something that I wouldn't have thought about, because when I'm taking a picture, I'm mostly looking at myself and ticking off the boxes, not necessarily looking at it from that perspective. You guys, this is what I gotta say. I want to ask next Petra how we can find out more about her and work with her. Definitely download the guides, and definitely listen to this episode as many times as you can to help you. If this is something that you struggle with, if putting yourself out there, if taking photos and videos and things, they're just take this as a it's possible, right? I want to empower because, as one of my favorite coaches says, Marie Forleo, I think she says something like, the world that needs that special thing that only you have, and the world cannot know about that special thing unless you say, right? So Petra, how do we find out more about you? What do you have? I know you have the free things for our audience. And how do we connect with you, keep connecting? How do we check out your services for anybody that wants more and would love to like get all this amazing value from you?
Yeah, well, I have a free Facebook group in which people can put their photos up, so they can get. I have a Feedback Friday tag, and I'll choose some photos that I give my feedback on, so they can get feedback inside my group. There are many, many free tutorials and even workshops in there, workshops on branding. One thing that is really important that I would like to say that we didn't touch upon yet is that you have so much content to create, because you have to think that it isn't enough if you have like 5 or 6 beautiful photos and you keep turning them. You need to show up on a regular basis if you want to have clients, because I think the number is, maybe you as a marketing expert, you know the exact number, but I think it's like 27 times or something like that, that someone needs to see you or have a contact point with you before they are able to buy from you, because you need to build that trust. So yeah, for building the trust, there are the behind the scenes photos, there are your product or your course photos. There's a lot of things that you can put out there to make sure that that you are seen. So inside the Facebook group, there are workshops on those subjects that they can get for free. So it's all the Grow Your Visibility series. So that's entirely free. And there's one workshop that is really important, that is on planning, because to create those photos, I don't know if you have that yourself, but sometimes you want to post something on Facebook or on Instagram and you can't find the right photo with it. And then you think, okay, I need to take a photo. And then in the end, you are not happy with the photo, or you can't find the right photo with it. So you end up not posting at all and think, okay, I'll do it next week or whatever. I think that a lot of people are not posting because of that, or are all the time posting with stock photos. Now, a stock photo every now and then is no problem at all. I mean, even I sometimes, if I really need to do something really quick and I don't have the time to take a flat lay or whatever, I might take a stock photo. There's no shame in that. But you cannot post only with stock photos, because then you don't have that authenticity. So people, for instance, like your notebook, if you use stock photos or the same flat lays like everybody does, the book with the pen, we see 100 million photos like that. So you need to make sure that you take your own photos with you holding your notebook, or you see, so to make it authentic.
Yeah.
And so in order to do that, you need to plan your photos, because you waste a lot of time trying to take a photo here and there every now and then. If you organize your own branding photo shoot, maybe once a month or once every 2 months, then you will gain so much time, and you will gain so much time for other important stuff, either in your business or your personal life. But yeah, you will make life so much easier for yourself. So on that, there's workshop as well. So people can go inside the Facebook group to find all that. And obviously my website, I think you'll put the link
Yes.
here as well. So they can contact me on my website. And yeah, any information on the Done With You photo shoots or my other programs, I already have speed courses for just as little as 47 euros up until my 6 months programs and anything in between. So they can look that up on my website.
I love it. So all the links, the free downloads, the Facebook group, it's all going to be wherever you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube, whether you're getting an email about this, or if you're listening in, there is a link in the show notes. So you'll get all the information. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Petra. I've learned so much. I'm joining all of this. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and just for sharing just how creatively you put something together that genuinely helps so much. And genuinely, all of us entrepreneurs need this. This is so, in this content powered space we are in, this is so powerful. Thank you so much for being here. It was an honor talking to you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I enjoyed this so much. I'm really happy that you invited me, and yeah, thank you for being there talking with me. So thanks.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone listening in. Remember to check the links and get all the resources. And if you enjoyed this episode, would love to know. You can reply with an email. If you can leave a review on the show, anything that you feel would be a good fit. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.